Mga bodyguard mo na guys.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So I want to welcome all the members of the BIDDNG Awarding Committee, DPWH, programmers, our observers, prospective bidders. Sir, good afternoon. To Rap Paulo Daan of Daan Construction, sir, welcome. And all guests that are here, welcome to our pre-bidding conference of our civil works. So today is June 11, 2026. Schedule of pre-bidding conference of 6 civil work projects of this office, DPWH Cagayan Oro First District Engineering Office. So to formally open this pre-bidding conference, I call Engineer Grace Julian for our opening prayer.
Let us all rise. Lord one, our prayer, and for the Catholics and the time of the cross. Our most precious and loving Heavenly Father, first of all, we thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for keeping us safe as we have traveled from our homes for this office, Lord. And today, this afternoon, we humbly ask your divine grace to be with us and accompany us as we are about to start our beginning conference. And we always be grant us to wisdom, Lord. This all we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Engineer Grace. So at this point, may I call our secretariat to roll call for our attendance for this afternoon.
Good afternoon again. Attendance for today's bid conference. Back Chairperson, Engineer Jennifer Imbanat. Who's on leave, Back Vice Chairperson, Engineer Anthony H. Casona. Regular member, Engineer Grace D. Julian. Professional members, Engineer Ione Grace P. Dios and Engineer Shandy G. Felicidario. Head Back Secretariat, Engineer Aida Marinila Videroy. Members, Mr. Efren B. Paderes and yours truly. Head Back PWG, Mr. Marvin Julius J. Digal. Members, Engineer Camille Andy Escobedo. Engineer Melody Gail L. Bastida. Engineer Nino B. BP, and Mr. L. John L. Capigo. Programmers, Engineer Aldrin E. Margin, Engineer Carl Marx C. Pulmano, Engineer John Lloyd Rojas, Engineer Kenneth Tejero, and Architect Malo Cormanes. Interested bidders from Ram Daan Construction, Mr. Ram Paulo E. Daan. That's all, sir.
Thank you, Manuel. So the members of the back are not going to take percent. So there's a quorum in this room. So today we are scheduled for opening of pre-bidding conference of the 6 civil works projects. So mainly first is 26K0049 Rehabilitation of road at Barangay Pagalungan, Station 0+000 to Station 0+400, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. With an approved budget for the contract of 9,248,610 pesos and 83 centavos. Second is 26PH0068, Asset Preservation, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads, secondary roads, Cagayan de Oro City Coastal Bypass Road. S01248 MN, Chainage 654 to Chainage 1123, Chainage 4000 to Chainage 4150. With an approved budget for the contract of 18,499,235 pesos and 25 centavos. Third is the 26KH0069, Rehabilitation of Road at Barangay Carmen, Station 0+000 to Station 0+400, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. With the approved budget for the contract is 9,246,089 pesos and 33 centavos. Fourth project is the 26PH0070 rehabilitation of road at Barangay Lumbia. Station 0+000 to Station 1+500, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. With the approved budget of the contract of 27,747,808 pesos and 32 centavos. And fifth project is the 26KH0071, construction of multi-purpose building in Barangay San Simon, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental, with the coordinates of 124.56312 degrees and 8.43704 degrees, with the approved budget for the contract of 9,899,358 pesos and 31 centavos. And last is 26KH0072, construction of public solar water system of Barangay Pigsag-an, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental, with the approved budget of the contract of 9,897,424 pesos and 36 centavos. So these all projects, the details of all these projects will be discussed by our programmers. Questions and clarifications will be entertained after the discussions of the project. I would like also to acknowledge Honorable Fernando C. Dicoli, Punong Barangay of Barangay San Simon. Sir, good afternoon, welcome for pre-bidding progress. So now let's start with our first project. 26PH0049, rehabilitation of road at Barangay Pagalungan, Station 0+00 to Station 0+400, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. With a budget with a contract of 9,248,610 pesos and 23 centavos. The details of this project will be discussed by Engineer Carmen.
Hello, good afternoon. For rehabilitation of road at Barangay Pagalungan, Cagayan de Oro City with an ABC as mentioned and calendar days 134. For this project, here is the map of or the site development plan of rehabilitation of road at Barangay Pagalungan as shown. The site pictures for the beginning and then the end. The scope course of this project is mainly on rehabilitation of road or existing road. Before I'm going to show the MER and the sum of quantities, I'm going to show the typical roadway sections for the project. Firstly, the rehab of the existing road is to replace it for 2.5 meters per lane and thickness of CCP of 280 mm and aggregate base course of 100 mm as shown. So there is also proposed line canal for the project and slope protection shown here. And here's also the typical roadway section for the roadway section with a cross drain and catch basin, waterway, head wall, and there are the slope protection, grouted riprap details, the wheel guard details, and the line canal details. For the head wall and the cross drainage system details, and a typical reblocking detail for rehabilitation of road. So back to summary of quantities or the scope of works. We have permits and clearances, P.3, 1 lump sum for excavation permits, P.5, project billboards and signboard for each, B.72, occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum, B.82, traffic management, 1 lump sum, B.9, mobilization plus demobilization, 1 lump sum. For earthworks, we have 1013B3, removal of actual structures plus obstruction of 0.23 meters thick, PCCP unreinforced with a quantity of 2,000 square meters. 1022, surplus common excavation with a quantity of 780.38 cubic meters. 1031A, for structure excavation common soil with a quantity of 563.43 cubic meters. And 1041A, for embankment from roadway plus structure excavation common soil with a quantity of 55.56 cubic meters. And for 2011 aggregate base course, we have a quantity of 200.40 cubic meters. And for our surface courses, we have 311 E1 Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 0.28 meters thick, 14 days with a quantity of 2,000 square meters. And for our drainage and slope protection structures, we have 501D for pipe culverts class 4 RCPC, 900 mm diameter, with a quantity of 7 linear meters for our cross drain. And for 5052B for grounded river class B with a quantity of 289.29 cubic meters for our slope protection structures and for the drainage. And lastly, 5061 stone masonry with a quantity of 10.85 cubic meters for our head wall for the cross drain. And back to our MER, we have two-way radio, 3 lease, subject for bid bulletin. So barricade flashlight, 10 lease, trailer for equipment, 1 lease, trailer for minor tools, 1 lease. Backhoe with pavement breaker, 1 lease, payloader, 1 lease, dump truck, 2 lease, concrete saw, 1 lease, bulldozer, 1 lease, backhoe, 1 lease, motorized road grader, 1 lease, vibratory roller, 1 lease, water truck / pump, 1 lease, concrete vibrator, 2 lease, concrete screeder, 1 lease, concrete saw, 1 lease, bar cutter, 1 lease, mechanized joint sealer, 1 lease, and material testing apparatus, 1 set. That's all for rehabilitation of road at Barangay Pagalungan. Any questions?
So,
I-bid mo lang. Yung na-rebid man good. Wala pa na-change.
so do we have any questions? How about from our online?
There's nothing.
Understand? So there's a big bulletin for the minimum
Equipment
requirements.
requirements.
So there's no questions regarding the details of this project. So now let's proceed with the second project. Asset preservation, rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged roads, secondary roads, Cagayan de Oro City, coastal bypass road. S0124 MN, Chainage 654 to Chainage 1123. Chainage 4,000 to Chainage 4150, Cagayan de Oro City. The details of this project will be discussed by Engineer Albert Marcel. So you can now proceed, Engineer Albert.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mic test. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I will present 26KH0068, the asset preservation, rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads, secondary roads, Cagayan de Oro City, coastal bypass road, with a chainage of 654 to chainage 1,123, and chainage 4,000 to chainage 4,150. With the ABC of 18,499,235.25 pesos and a total project duration of 233 calendar days. With a net length of remove and replace of the existing PCCP, replacing the existing 0.23 m and meter thick PCCP to 0.28 meter thick, 3 days. We did in chainage 654 to chainage 1040 with 3 lanes with a net length of 386 meters. Chainage 1040 to chainage 1170, 2 lanes. The length of 130 meters. Chainage 4000 to chainage 4150, 2 lanes with the length of 150 meters. And also a sidewalk with the width of 1.25 meters with a net length of 373 meters. The major categories of work is RRP roads or Rehabilitation of Roads PCCP. For the location for our project, so along the Coastal Bypass Road, will start before it will begin before the Puntud Coswagan Bridge. So the section 1, as indicated in the slide, along the Coastal Bypass Road. So here it will start, the section will start at chainage 654. So indicated here. These are pictures for the section 1. We will remove and replace the existing PCCP and also the sidewalk. Also clean and rehabilitate the existing pipe under the sidewalk. So we use the 3 days PCCP curing period because of the traffic in this area, a very busy road. Also, the end of our section 1 will be near the Coswagan Jollibee section, Jollibee area. So this is the end of our section 1, chainage 1170. For section 2, this is from the Cagayan de Oro Fish Port near the Bulwa terminal. So we will start the section 2 at chainage 4000 and end in chainage 4150. For the plan of our project, so it is indicated here. There will be the grayed out area is the existing damaged paved road to be removed and replaced. And also the red area are the existing sidewalk to be removed and replaced also. There will be a yellow box on the intersection with this kind of pattern, crisscross pattern. And also for the section 2 with 150 meter length, the inner lanes are to be removed and replaced. For the typical details, we have the typical roadway section 1 reblocking for 3 lanes. We have the Portland cement concrete pavement and reinforced 0.28 thick 3 days, and also a aggregate base course with a thickness of 0.20. And remove and replace of existing structure, the existing PCCP of 0.23 meter thick. On the left side, we can see the concrete paving blocks for the sidewalk. And also on typical section 1, reblocking 3 lanes. You can also see here the existing widths of the roads, same as the roadway section above, remove and replace, and develop the existing sidewalk. Typical roadway section 1, reblocking in 2 lanes near front of the Jollibee Coswagan. So there's an existing box culvert, so we'll only remove and replace the left side, the 2 lanes left side, which is very worn down again. So for the typical section 2, reblocking the inner lanes. We have the typical reblocking dowel pavement details for the details of our dowels, and also the curb in gutter details. And in the complete curb and gutter detail, and the paver block, in the paver block stopper, the detail, sidewalk details, the drop curb details, especially on intersections and existing commercial areas, will provide the drop curve. The schedule of markings, the general detail, and also the pavement marking details in the intersection. We have a 0.20 meter thick yellow thermoplastic crisscross line intersection in the area, and also the pedestrian. For the summary of quantities, we have the bid at 5 project billboard signboard for each, the occupational safety and health program 1 lump sum, traffic management 1 lump sum, mobilization demolition 1 lump sum. For our earthworks, we have the removal of structure/obstruction 0.23 thick PCCP unreinforced of 5,703 square meters. The removal of actual structures obstruction 0.10 m thick sidewalk with 933 square meters. Removal of actual structure obstruction curb and gutter with the quantity of 373 linear meter. For our base course, aggregate base course of 1,098 cubic meters. For surface course, we have the Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 0.28 thick 3 days. The quantity of 5,490 square meters. The reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, quantity of 916.27 kilograms. This is for the reinforcement of the block stopper for the sidewalk. Structural concrete 20.68 megapascal class A 28 days with a quantity of 7.48 cubic meters, also for our block stopper. Structural concrete painting works of 104.44 square meter for the curb and gutter paintings. For the drainage and slope protection structures, we have the cleaning, reconditioning of drainage structure 1 lump sum, so I will respond it later. For the miscellaneous structure, curb and gutter precast with the 373 piece, so per piece is 1 meter. Sidewalk 100 mm thick, 933 square meters. Reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white 268 square meter. Reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings yellow 249.84 square meter. And also for the material details of the concrete paving blocks of 448 square meters. For the minimum equipment requirements, we have the trailer for equipments 1 leased, backhoe 1 leased, backhoe with pavement breaker 1 leased, payloader 1 leased, dump truck 2 leased, bulldozer 1 leased, motorized road grader 1 leased, vibratory roller 1 leased, water truck 1 leased, concrete vibrator 2 owned, concrete spreader 1 owned, concrete saw 1 owned, bar cutter with the 25 mm maximum rebar, capacity 1 owned, bar bender also 25 mm maximum rebar capacity of 1 owned, mechanized joint sealer 1 owned, cargo truck 1 leased, transit mixer 2 leased, concrete batching plant 1 leased, boom truck 1 leased, and applicator machine and kneading machine for our thermoplastic 1 owned. And lastly, the material testing apparatus in accordance to DEO 11 series 2017 1 owned. For the provision and lump sums, we have the traffic management. So we have 3 layouts indicated in our project, especially it's a very busy section of our road, especially the coastal bypass road. So indicated here, the typical layout. So we have the different kinds of, this is the summary of the traffic management, the stages needed to follow. So we have a very large amount of allotted for the traffic management. For the section 1 and section 2, you have the traffic management stage 1 to 8 and 30 to 31. This is the placement of our markers or our hazards for the area, especially on the center line. Every 50 meters, our second in segmenting the projects. So we have the traffic management at stage 13 to 22. It is on the outer areas. Stage 9 to 11. Also traffic management, stage 10 to 12, especially working on the sidewalks. Also for our 504, 5 cleaning and conditioning of drainage structures, we have cleaning and conditioning of existing 24 diameter RCPC 610 mm on the area along chainage 654 to chainage 1040 with a total length of 373 meters. So we have equipments used on that cleaning and conditioning of our drainage structure, especially the backhoe, water truck, and boom truck. And thank you, and that's all for our 26KH0068.
Thank you, Engineer Alvin Margin. So do we have any questions or clarifications regarding the details of the project? Do we have? Yes, ma'am. How about from our online viewer? So there's none. Since there's no questions in the details of this project, so now let's proceed for our third project. The 26KH0069, Rehabilitation of Road at Barangay Carmen, Station 0+000 to Station 0+100. Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. With an approved budget for the contract of 9,226,089 pesos and 33 centavos. So the details of this project will be discussed by Engineer Kenneth Carl. You can now proceed, Engineer Kenneth Carl.
Good afternoon once again, sir, ma'am, and to the online viewers and to the visitors. So I'll be presenting the 26KH0069. So a title Rehabilitation of Road at Barangay Carmen, Station 0+00 to Station 0+400. So these are the sections involved. So there's section 1A, I think station 0 to 0, station 0+81, station 1B, station 0 to station 73, station 1.C, station 0 to 35.5, it was up to existing drainage. Section 2.A, we have station 0 to 0147, station 2.B, station 0 to station 68, station 2.C, station 0 to station 100, rehabilitation of main road drainage. So section 3, we have station 0 to station 0+31. So with a total length of 400 meters, road length. So the station 1.A, station 1.B, station 2.A, section 2.B, and section 3. So yeah, ang total niya is 400 meters. So yung approved budget for of the contract is 9,246,089.33 pesos. So this is the section 1. So this is the location of section 1. So it was right behind the Makanahan Elementary School. So this is the main road here. So this is the section 2. So it's located Gomamela Street. So this is the Gomamela Street passing to KSY Main Road. So section 3. So this is located near Barangay Hall, Carmen. So this is the Barangay Hall of Carmen. So the intersection. This is the site development of 3 sections. So this is the scope of traffic management involved. So we have workmen, 2 each, prepare to stop, 2 each, a temporary hazard marker, 1 each, a traffic cone at 5 meters apart, 16 each. The equipment is stake truck, 1 listening, own barricade flasher light, 4 own each. So this is the plan and profile. So we have the it was on the plan and profile, we see the labels. So we have it's indicated in the profile, the finished grade elevation, the invert elevation, and the original ground elevation. So this is all the same to all section. Section 2. This is the section 3. So this is the typical detail for the rehabilitation of road. Um, it was a pathwalk detail. It composed of gravel fill, 0.5 meter thick, structural concrete, 20.68, class A, 7 days. So this is the typical detail with RSB na siya. So it has a station limit, it's indicated here. For electrical drawings, since there is solar street light. So these are the typical and the specifications of solar street light. So for the cross sections, so these are the cross sections. It has a summary of the quantities. So structure excavation, structural concrete and embankment of borrow. So these are the summary of quantities. So under the DPWH standard specification for highways, bridge, and airport, volume 2, we have B.3 permit and clearances, 1 lump sum. B.5 project billboard or signboard for each. B.7 2 occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. B.8 1 traffic management, 1.43 months. B.9 mobilization, demobilization, 1 lump sum. 1013B3 removal of actual structures, obstruction, 0.23 meter thick PCCP unreinforced, 7.25 square meter. 1016 removal of actual structure, obstruction, concrete, 35.74 cubic meter. 103 1A structure excavation, common soil, 668.13 cubic meter. 104 2A embankment from borrow, common soil, 94.13 cubic meter. 1047 gravel fill, 81.63 cubic meter. 404 1A reinforcing steel, grade 40, 27,740.93 kilograms. 405 1A1 structural concrete, 20.68 megapascal, class A, 7 days. 337.71 cubic meter. 6249 C1 single arm solar LED roadway lighting, 9 meter pull, 80 watts to 125 watts, but we use the maximum 125 watts here. 18 each. So under the DPWH standard, volume 3, building ports and harbors, flood control and drainage structure and water supply system, we have 903 2 formworks and poles works, 1,893.28 square meter. So this is the minimum equipment requirement for this project. We have trailer for equipments. 1 list backhoe with pavement breaker, 1 list dump truck, 2 ohm backhoe, 1 list cutting outfit, 1 ohm motorized road grader, 1 list vibratory roller, 1 list water truck, 1 list concrete vibrator, 2 ohm plate compactor, 1 ohm pump crate, 1 list bar cutter, 1 ohm bar bender, 1 ohm cargo or service truck, 1 ohm car 9 to 10 metric tons. So we have 2 different cargo service truck here. We have 270 HP and 160 HP. So both are 1 ohm. Truck mounted crane, 21 to 25 metric tons, 100 HP. 1 list payloader, 1 list bucket flasher light, 4 ohm. Stick truck, 1 ohm. Laboratory testing apparatus, 1 ohm. So that's all for this project. So any questions and clarification?
Thank you, Engineer Kahira. So do we have any questions or clarifications regarding the details of this project? Yes, ma'am. How about the online viewing? There is none. So there's no questions regarding on the details of this project. So now, let's proceed for our fourth project, 26KH0070, rehabilitation of road at Barangay Lumbia, station 0+000 to station 1+500. Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. Approved budget for the contract for this project is 27,747,808 pesos and 32 centavos. The details of this project will be discussed by Engineer Carmen. You can now proceed with your comment.
Good afternoon again for rehabilitation of road at Barangay Lumbia with the station 0 to station 1+500. There are calendar days of 308 and scope of works of rehabilitation of existing road. So for the section 1 of the project, as shown here, is the location marked with the red line or for the alignment. It is located near Baluarte Elementary School for the beginning of the project. And this is a side picture for the beginning, shown for the damaged paved road, and for the end, shown here at the bottom left. So the total length of this red line is 1,000 meters. But not all of the length will be rehab, so will be shown in the back. For the section 2, shown here near Lumbia Barangay Hall, marked by the pink alignment or pink line. Here is completing of existing or rehab of the existing gravel road. For this section 2, marked with A, B, C, and D. For the sections, for this section is you only have to use 0.23 meter stick PCCP. Unlike section 1, which is along the main road for 0.28 meter stick PCCP. And for the section 3, shown here, marked by the pink line for alignment. Still, we're gonna be using 0.23 meter stick PCCP for this existing gravel road or paved road, unpaved road to be rehabbed to be paved road. And here are the typical roadway sections for each section of the project. For section 1, we're gonna having 3.05 meters per lane with a thickness of 280 mm and aggregate base course thickness of 200 mm. And for the section 2 and section 3, typical roadway sections, there will be a section will have 3.05 per lane, and there will be a section with a 2.5 meters per lane. Still with the same thickness of 230 mm and aggregate base course of 100 mm. And here are the typical plan for reblocking down pavement for the rehabilitation of existing paved road, damaged paved road. And for the summary of quantities, we have permits and clearances, B.3, 1 lump sum. B.5, project billboards or signboard for each. B.72, occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. B.82, traffic management, 1 lump sum. B.9, mobilizations plus demobilization, 1 lump sum. And for our 1013B3 for removal of actual structures / obstruction of 0.3 meters thick CCP unreinforced, we have a quantity of 5,740.45 square meters. For 1022 surplus common excavation, we have a quantity of 3,681.80 cubic meters. For 1041A for embankment from roadway / structure excavation, common soil, we have a quantity of 335.50 cubic meters. And for aggregate waste course, we have 2011 with a quantity of 2,065.98 cubic meters. For service course of the 311B1 for the cement covered pavement unreinforced with 0.20 meters thick, 14 days to the quantity of 2,935 square meters, and 311E1 for the cement covered pavement unreinforced 0.88 meters thick, 14 days, 7,101.38 square meters. For two-way radio, we have 3 owned, Barangay Flashlight, 10 owned, trailer for equipments, 1 lease, trailer for minor tools, 1 lease, backhoe with pavement breaker, 1 lease, payloader, 2 lease, dump truck, 2 lease, concrete saw, 1 lease, bulldozer, 1 lease, backhoe, 1 lease, motorized road grader, 1 lease, vibratory roller, 1 lease, water truck slash pump, 1 lease, concrete vibrator, 2 owned, concrete screener, 1 owned, bar cutter, 1 owned, mechanized joint sealer, 1 lease, transit mixer, 4 lease, concrete batch plant, 1 lease, and material testing apparatus, 1 set owned. This project still subject for bid bulletin. Thank you for rehabilitation upload in Barangay Lumbia.
Thank you, Engineer Carmax, Mano. So, do we have any questions or clarification for this project? There is none. How about from our online viewers? So there's none. So since there's no questions regarding the details of this project. So now let's proceed for our fifth project, 36 0071. Construction and multi-purpose building in Barangay Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. The coordinates of 124.5631 degrees and 8.4370 degrees. With a budget of 9,899,358 pesos and 31 centavos. So the details of the project will be discussed by architect Malo Fornanes. You can now proceed, architect Malo.
So good afternoon to all our visitors and our viewers. And for our project 26KH0071 entitled Construction of Multipurpose Building in Barangay San Simon, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. The location is Barangay San Simon, Cagayan de Oro City, appropriation of 10 million. And then with an EPC of 9,899 and 358.31 pesos. With a calendar days of 180. For major categories, BIC, WO, PLC, buildings, construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame. For similar major category, BIC, WO, PHC, buildings, construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame. And the scope of work for this project is the construction of 3-story multi-purpose building with a demolition of existing structure. So this is our location plan located at the Barangay properties adjacent to the San Simon Covered Court. So this is the area of our proposed project. So the photo on the right side is the location of the project. The existing structures are to be removed. These are the side photos taken. This is our site area. And this is our proposed perspective of the project. So this is our site development plan. So this is our ground floor plan. Ground floor plan is composed of the multi-purpose storage area and then the proposed senior citizens affairs office with a toilet designed for BP 344 standards for the elderly and persons with disability. And the stair 1 is the access all throughout the different floors of the building. And also showing you the standards with the ramp. So this is the second floor. This is the proposed office. And for the third floor also is office with a toilets for the male and female. So these are our front elevation. our left elevation, and the right and rear elevation. This is the firewall site, since it is already located at the very edge of the property. So this is the section, the cross section, and our roof plan. So for our summary of quantities, subject for bid bulletin, for our general requirements, we have permits and clearances, 1 lump sum. Project billboard, signboard, 2 each. For occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. And then mobilization and demobilization, 1 lump sum. For our earthworks, we have removal of structure and obstruction, 1 lump sum. Structure excavation, common soil. And then embankment from roadways, structure excavation, 132.24 cubic meter. Embankment from barrow, common soil, 17.49 cubic meter. And then gravel fill, 21.12 cubic meter. For our reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete, 3,000 PSI, Class A, 28 days, 63.69 cubic meter. These are for the footing, column, grade beam, roof beam, and wall footing. And for our structural concrete, Class A, 28 days, 47.70 cubic meter. This is for the second and third floor beams and second and third floor slab. And for the structural concrete, Class B, 28 days, 16.09 cubic meter. This is for the slab on grade. And for the limb concrete item, 4.20 cubic meter for the all footing base. And then reinforcing steel, deformed grade 40, 29,900.30 kilograms. And then formworks and false works, 832.01 square meters. For our finishing and other civil works, we have soil poisoning, 14 liters. Storm drainage and downspout, 1 lump sum. Pipes with fittings connection, 1 lump sum. Plumbing fixtures, 1 lump sum. Stainless steel grab bar, 2.55 linear meter for the PWD toilet. Facial mirror for the toilets, 1.08 square meters. Cold water line, 1 lump sum. Ceiling metal frame fiber cement board, 4.5 mm thick, 101.24 square meters. Carpentry and joinery works, 1 lump sum. Finishing hardware, 1 lump sum. This is for the doorknobs and all the hinges, the doors. And then aluminum frame glass door, swing type, 2.10 square meters. Aluminum glass window, awning type, 27 square meters. Doors, flush, 18.48 square meters. Tempered glass, 12 mm thick, 29.22 square meters. This is for the curtain window near the stairs. And then the fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 26, flashing 36.60 linear meter. And then we have the fabricated metal roofing sheets. 36.60. And then pre-painted metal sheets, 4.427 mm rib type long span, 144.30 square meters. Waterproofing liquid for the balcony and the toilet, 82.14 square meters. Unglazed tiles, 156.30 square meters. Glazed tiles, 38.96 square meters. Cement plaster finish, 635.83 square meters. Acoustical ceiling panel, 157.60 square meters. Painting works, masonry and concrete, 1,270.19 square meters. Painting works, wood, 315.63 square meters. Painting works, steel, 97.89 square meters. Reflective insulation for the roofing, 115.60 square meters. CHB non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel, 100 mm thick, 377.97 square meters. And then metal structure accessories, bolts and rods, 180 each. Metal structures, turn buckle, 16 each. Structure accessories, Sagrad is 85.25 kilograms. Metal structure accessories, cross bracing, 94.68 kilograms. Metal structure accessories, steel plates, 320.31 kilograms. Structural steel, 1 lump sum. Structural steel trusses, 2,160.36 kilograms. Structural steel purlins, 1,104 kilograms. And then railings, for all the railings, including ramps, stairs, and the balcony, 1 lump sum. For the electrical works, conduit boxes and fittings, conduit perks, conduit roughing ins, 1 lump sum. Wires and wiring devices, 1 lump sum. And then panel board with main and branch breaker, 1 lump sum. Lighting fixtures and lamps, 1 lump sum. CCTV system, 1 lump sum. For the mechanical, we have ventilating equipment, 1 lump sum. Fire hose, valve, Siamese, 1 set. Fire hose cabinet assembly, 3 sets. Fire extinguisher, 10 pounds with bracket, 12 sets. Fire alarm system. So these are for the lump sum items for our storm drainage downspout. This is for the roof drain, then PVC pipes and connections. And for pipes with fitting connections, this is for the plumbing pipes and connections. And then for the item plumbing fixtures, we have the water closet, wall hung lavatory, stainless plates, drain, floor drain, sink drain, and faucet. And for the cold water line lump sum, we have the pipes for the water supply. We have these fittings also, water meter, and other fittings used. And for the carpentry and joinery works, we have the wood frame, the wire mesh, the marine wood, and the wire nail, sandpaper, and no more nail. So this is for the carpentry and joinery works. For our conduits, boxes, fittings, conduit works, conduit roughing ins, these are the electrical items used in all the electrical preparations. And for our wires and wiring devices, these are all the wires to be used in the project. For specifications, you can directly ask our electrical engineers. So these are the materials. And for our panel board with main, branch, and breakers, these are the specifications. Panel board for 4 branches, main distribution panel board, flush mounted with 250 amperes, NEMA 1 flush type. So these are 4 branches. So for our lighting fixtures and lamps used, we have the lighting fixture 2, 30 watts LED panel lights, recessed mounted type L, 1200 mm by 300 mm, 230 volts, 60 hertz. And then 9 watts downlight pin light with 9 watts LED bulb, 152 mm diameter or 6 inches diameter recessed type. So for our ventilating equipment, we have 75 watt ceiling mounted exhaust fan, cassette type, 130 volts, 60 hertz, including pipe cost and installation cost. And for the fire hose valve Siamese item, we have fire hose valve Siamese 100 mm diameter by 63 mm by 63 mm diameter two-way cap for our fire hose cabinet assembly. And then for our fire extinguisher, 10 pounds with bracket. This is 10 pounds CO2 slash HCFC type environmental friendly ABC type with bracket wall mounted. And for our lump sum item for the fire alarm system, we have smoke detector with base, fire alarm bell, fire alarm control panel for zones, and then push and pull manual station, and then fire alarm bell, annunciator, siren, and strobe light. And then for our permits and clearances, this includes all the building permit and securing for this project, and then all professionals involved in the signatories of the permit, and then the Bureau of Fire. So for our safety signages, our safety and health signages for this project, these are the standards. So these are located in the respected areas of the project. So we have these are very important. And then for our minimum equipment requirement, backhoe, 0.83 cubic meter by 1.05 YD, D3, 150 horsepower, 1 unit lease, concrete vibrator, 2 units owned, dump truck, all models, 1 unit lease, 1 bagger mixer, 1 unit owned, plate compactor, 1 unit owned, grinding machine with accessories, 1 unit owned, bar cutter, 1 unit owned, bar bender, 1 unit owned, welding machine, electric driven or DC output, 500 amperes, 1 unit owned, boom truck, 1 unit leased, material testing apparatus, 1 set owned, minor tools, 1 set owned, jackhammer, 1 unit owned, concrete pump, diesel driven, 1 unit leased. So thank you. That's for the project. Any questions, clarifications from our viewers or visitors? This project is 180 calendar days, sir. Yes, sir. I think that will be answered by the
Concern, later we will discuss the date of the schedule of the meeting. After all the discussions of the.
Happy na vision. Babasin mo ba rin ako ang leadership sa barangay. So, kami na ba ng tabo natin tayo parawos. Sa tapos.
The schedule of filling of bids for this all projects that we discussed today is June 23. Schedule of opening of bids, and then most probably the EPP of this project will be the second week of July or third week of July.
Successful ang bids
Ah.
natin.
Thank you, thank you, Bob. Thank you for time.
Di ba sa panag-ulitin pangan ka ba?
Oo.
Itong 901, total ba?
We will make clarification for also for our interested bidders regarding sa item structural concrete. We have 3 structural concrete, item 3,000 PSI, and then from block of class B, it is 4,000 PSI because kasi balik lang siya o the 901 I structural concrete plus aggregate base 47. So-
Sige, ako rin check ko. Si Christian mag-uwi na sa spirit.
Ano lang na, naalam na ako ba ng mga stairs, clarify lang din.
Also subject for bid quality.
As well as katong excavation and embankment at discuss lang.
Okay, Christian magtungapon.
Ano lang po,
Quantity.
quality.
Sige, okay.
So I would like to remind our interested bidders for this project. So please look out for our we have a bid bulletin for this project. So there's still questions or clarification? There's none. How about for our online viewers?
There's none, sir.
So there's none. So there's no more questions regarding on this project. So we can now proceed to our last project. 26K0072. Construction of public solar water system at Barangay Pigsag-an, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. With the approved project with a contract of 9,897,424 pesos and 26 centavos. The details of this project will be discussed by Engineer John Lloyd Rojas. You can now proceed, Engineer John Lloyd.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be presenting the project contract ID 26K800772. With the contract name, construction of public solar water system at Barangay Pigsag-an, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. With a 151 calendar days contract duration, located at Pigsag-an, Cagayan de Oro City. In an EBC of 9,897,424 pesos and 36 cents. Based on General Appropriation Act, the fund source and construction of solar water system with a deep well water source. So this is the location of the project, located at Pigsag-an Elementary School, Cagayan de Oro City, located in the premises of Pigsag-an Elementary School, exactly at the back of the elementary school. So this is the proposed perspective of the project and the typical deep well detail and perforated pipe detail, pump electrode installation detail, and the deep well data. For this project, we should conduct a geo-resistivity test with a 100 meters depth to ensure to locate water saturated aquifers, estimate drilling depth, and assess water quality. Since it has no specific pay item, I inserted it in the water pumping system pay item. And this is the proposed concrete reservoir, the proposed control house, and the proposed solar panel with 24 panels. So this is the perspective proposed top stand. The HDP pipe length is 1545 meters with for distribution pipe, which we use 75 mm diameter HDPE pipe. The number of top stand 13 top stand. So this is the summary of quantities. Part A, facilities for the engineer, provision of field for engineer rental basis, 5.03 months. For this item, it, so it has, for this item, equipment consists of 40-footer container van with ECU furnace and maintained, provide 3 chairs and 3 tables or equivalent. When we say equivalent, we can rent a house equivalent to the amount of the equipment within the duration of the project. So part B, other general requirements. B.5, project billboard signboard for each. B.72, occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. B9, mobilization, demobilization, 1 lump sum. Part A, earthwork, 103.82, individual removal of trees, 301 to 500 mm diameter small. Since
pag survey is night, there's two trees that will be cut, so it has two each. So 107, one overhaul, 2 cubic meter kilometer, 803 1A structural excavation common soil, 219.96 cubic meter, 804 1A embankment from roadway, structure excavation common soil, 284.41 cubic meter, 847 gravel field, 3.75 cubic meter. Part B, plain and reinforced concrete works, 101B, structural concrete, 3,000 PSI, Class A, 14 days, 40.67 cubic meter, 901, 1 link concrete, 3.75 cubic meter, 902, 1A1, reinforcing steel deform, grade 40, 2,397.99 kilogram, 901, A2, reinforcing steel deform, grade 60, 5,246.45 kilogram, 903, 1, formworks and false works, 1 lump sum, 102, 24, cold water lines, 1 lump sum, for finishing and other civil works, Part C, 102, 27, 27, plumbing works, 1 lump sum, 104, 2, finishing hardware, 1 lump sum, 109, 1A, jealousy windows, glass, 2.88 square meter, 110, 1,010, 2A, door flash, 1.68 square meter, 1,014, 1B2, pre-painted metal sheet above 0.427 mm, rib type, long span, 36.96 square meters, 1,016, 1A, waterproofing cement base, 138.72 square meters, 1,027, 1, cement plaster finish, 356.03 square meters, 1,032, 1A, painting works, masonry, concrete, 344.42 square meter, 1,032, 1B, painting works, wood, 3.36 square meters, 1,332, 1C, painting works, steel, 58.52 square meter, 1,046, 2A1, CHB non-loading, bearing, including reinforcing steel, 100 mm, 69.24 square meter, 10.47, 2, metal structures, 1 lump sum, Part D, electrical, 1,110, conduit boxes and fittings, conduit works, and conduit rough-ins, 1 lump sum, 1,133, wires and wiring devices, 1 lump sum, 1,102, 1, panel board and main breakers, branch breakers, 1 lump sum, 1,102, 18, solar panel with inverter, battery, and other devices, 1 lump sum, 1,103, 1, lighting fixtures, 1 lump sum, Part A, mechanical, 1,201, 1, water pumping system, 1 lump sum, 1,201, 8, valves and pipe fittings, 1 lump sum, Part G, water supply division, 4, flood control drainage and water system, 1,006, 1, fill and backfill, 278.10 cubic meter, 1,600, 2, pipeline trench excavation, 278.1 cubic meter, 1,602, 5, polyethylene plastic pipe, 1 lump sum. And the Part H is miscellaneous structure, 604, 2, fencing, chain link, fence fabric, 60 linear meter, 611, 2, seedling samplings for other programs initiative, 200 each. So this is our minimum equipment requirement. 40-footer container van with ECU furnished and maintained. 1, plate compactor, 1 lease, dump truck, 2 lease, boom truck, 1 list. Water truck, 1 list. Bulldozer, 1 list. Payloader, 1 list. Backhoe, 1 list. Bar cutter, single phase, 25 mm maximum rebar, grade 41 own. Bar bender, 3 phase, 26 mm maximum rebar, diameter grade 41 own. 1 bagger mixer, 1 own. Concrete vibrator, 1 own. Cutting outfit, 1 own. Motorized road grader, 1 own. Drilling machinery, 1 list. Cargo service truck, all models, 1 list. Material testing apparatus, 1 set on. And this project is subjected for bid bulletin. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer John Lloyd Rojas. So for our prospective bidders, so kindly contact us. We have a bid bulletin for this project. Of all projects, we have bid bulletin, so kindly check lang our website. So do we have questions regarding on the details for this project? How about for online viewing? There's none. So since there's no more questions regarding on the details of this project, so that's so now let's proceed with our plan. May I call our back secretariat for for the discussions of the procurement requirements, the details of the schedule of the opening of bids or other matters. So I call Engineer Aida.
So for this batch, we have these 6 projects. Our schedule or the procurement schedule, we have here the buying of tender documents is until June 23, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. only. So for the deadline for the submission of bids will be on the same date until 10 a.m. So for the opening of bids, it's still on the same date, which is right after the deadline or the dropping of bids. So first, we shall discuss the submission of bids. For the submission of bids, we have 2 modes of submission. We have the manual submission and the electronic submission of bids. So for the manual submission, we have a 2 envelope system. Wherein the first envelope is composed of the technical envelope and the second is the financial envelopes. For the electronic bid submission, the details are stated in the bid data sheet, which is in accordance with the DEO 87 series of 2023. So bidders may choose only one mode of submission. So during the submission of the bid proposals, it may be submitted through an authorized representative together with the original notarized special power of attorney, then attached with their government ID. So for their SPA, it shall be stated the contract IDs or the specific project they intend to participate. So for the eligibility, technical and financial requirements, which is enclosed in the first envelope, we have the valid field jobs registration certificate, which is for platinum membership. All the pages shall be enclosed, including the Annex A. So we also have here the statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet awarded, if any, so whether it is similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. So we would like to remind bidders, prospective bidders, that non-disclosure, failure to disclose the required information or providing incomplete or false details may result in disqualification from the bidding process. So another requirement is the statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, which is similar to the contract to be bid. So we have also here in the first envelope, the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board license or the special pickup license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. So for the bid security, we have 4 forms. So you may choose which forms you prefer. We have here the bid securing declaration, which does not require the amount of bid security. So we have a standard form for the BSD or the bid securing declaration. So for the project requirements, we have here the organizational chart for the contract to be bid. So this is the standard form. The list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. Then the list of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment units, which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project. So for projects with ABCs more than 30 million, it is required to enclose on their technical proposal the ISO 9001:2015 certification. This is for medium A contractors. So for the list of key contractors, key personnel, we have this standard format. For the list of contractors' major equipments, this is the standard format also. We would like to remind prospective bidders to fill up all the required information in the forms. So for our original duly signed omnibus term statement, the prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity. So if applicable, for joint venture, they may submit the notarized statements from all potential joint venture partners. The joint venture agreement. So this is the standard format in accordance with RA 12009, the omnibus term statement. So the additional requirement we have here for corporations kindly include the latest general information sheet reflecting beneficial ownership information duly received by the Security Exchange Commission for corporations. So for our financial requirements or the financial proposal, we have here the financial bid form, bill of quantities, the detailed estimates, and the cash flow by quarter. So this is the standard form for the bid form. The bill of quantities, the detailed estimates, this is the summary of bid prices, and the cash flow by quarter. So these are the common grounds for the non-compliant bid. So this we have here the observations from previous procurement activities. So missing or incomplete required documents, unsigned or improperly signed forms, incorrect or inconsistent computations in the bill of quantities or financial proposal, expired or invalid licenses and permits, non-compliance with specified technical requirements, and failure to use prescribed forms. So what are the preventive measures and recommendations? So prospective bidders should carefully check the validity of all the documents, ensure all forms are signed by the authorized signatory, use the exact forms provided in the bidding documents, and to verify computations before submission, organizing documents according to the prescribed sequence, and asking clarifications from the Bids and Awards Committee Secretariat within the allowable period. So that would be all, Mr. Vice Chair. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you, Engineer Ida. So again, I would like to remind our prospective bidders for their disclosure of their ongoing and awarded projects and verification, because the back will have also post-qualification, the verification of NFCC during post-qualification in DPWH. So the back will remind our prospective bidders during pre-bid that their obligation to fully and truthfully disclose all ongoing and awarded but not yet started contracts, including DPWH, other government and private contracts, by submitting the duly accomplished statement. So again, the Bids and Awards Committee remind that failure to submit and declare any ongoing and awarded but not yet started contract constitutes a ground for disqualification and imposition of appropriate sanction. And then the strengthened NFCC verification during post-qualification. So the bidder's statement of ongoing and award with contracts but not yet started, submitted latest audited financial statement and NFCC computation. And then during post-qualification, the official DPWH records reflected the civil works application, project and contract management application, and other relevant department database. So result of verification with other government agency and private entities are diligently undertaken during the NFCC verification during post-qualification. So again, do we have any questions, discussions about procurement requirements? There's none. From our live viewers, there's none. So again, before we conclude this pre-bidding conference, I would like to thank everyone for coming here, for showing up, and for your participation. So with that, this pre-bidding conference of the six civil works projects are officially adjourned. Thank you and have a good day.